This is What If Logic, and today I'll be doing what if Deku had Luffy's abilities. Luffy, I'm pretty sure it's Luffy though, but yeah. So Luffy's is basically the devil fruit that he ate, which is the Gomu Gomu no Mi. But I'm just gonna say that this is a quirk that Deku is born with, because I don't really feel like thinking up a backstory on how Deku got it. So first of all, I don't really know about how the physics of it works. It basically transforms Luffy's body into rubber, or yeah, rubber basically. And I'm pretty sure rubber would nullify I'm pretty sure that he would be able to nullify damage with rubber body, but Luffy somehow got hurt. But I don't know. Just tell me. But in this, I'm just gonna say that Deku's body is literally made out of rubber. And yeah, so basically, when Deku's born, the doctors notices that Deku's body is extremely weird. It's not like any normal human's body. And his body is way more, it's like stretchable. It's like his bones are like, yeah, they just see that his body is stretchable. So without Inko's asking, the doctors sometimes pull Deku's arms, and to their shock and horror, his arms actually stretch. So they're like, okay, this kid's weird. So they give him to Inko. So Inko's like, as Deku grows up. I mean, Deku's always had his ability, since it is classified as a mutation quirk. It really wouldn't be a emitter. I mean, his Kakura is Hakai, or Kakura is Haki. He will have it. I mean, I did say, what if Deku had Luffy's abilities, which means he will have all of Luffy's abilities. I'm pretty sure Luffy has all of Haki. I'm pretty sure, yeah, doesn't Luffy has two Hakis? He has Armament Haki and he has Conqueror's Haki, right? Tell me down below. So, yeah. Our boy Deku, he's basically admired by people because he had his quirk at a younger age. So Deku would sometimes blow his finger, well, basically just blow into his arm, which would enlarge it. Which Inko's like, I don't like it when you do that. And she's like, what would happen if you hurt yourself? Deku's like, don't worry. As he starts to blow into his finger, enlarging his hand, or basically his arm. And he's like, I'll name this one Bazooka. Not Bazooka. Bazooka is the one where he never mind, sorry. I'll think of it. Okay, so, yeah. So, Deku, he basically practices with his stretchy arms, which he basically gripped his arms to his porch, and he started to walk away, stretching his arms, which Inko doesn't like when he does that, because what if he actually snaps it? And he's like, yeah, I don't like it. And Deku's like, don't worry. So Deku gets to a certain point before he lets his hands go, and they shoot in front of him, and Deku basically breaks a rock, or a boulder that they had in the back of their yard. So she's like, huh, basically with a shocked face. And Deku's like, I'll name this one Gum Gum Bazooka, basically. She's like, alright, I need to go lay down, as she walks into the house. So Deku, he basically just creates these attacks, like the pistol attack, and yeah. Now, Deku, he's 5 years old when he does this, which means Bakugo manifests his quirk, which means Bakugo thinks that he's better than Deku, which means that Bakugo and Deku would fight a lot as children, which would build that sort of rivalry between the two, as Deku would always win. I mean, it's really hard to hurt him since his body is literally made out of rubber. So Deku's like, yeah, I can't have that. So, yeah. I've always been confused. Actually, I really need to watch One Piece. So, the like goal for this video will be 50 likes, like I do. I'm gonna do that for every video. I just don't feel like doing anymore. So, 50 likes for this video. So, Deku, he grows up alongside Bakugo. Their friendship is basically built, which means that Bakugo isn't so angry, and he doesn't bully people. So, yeah. Deku's developed the attacked Gum Gum pistol, Gum Gum Bazooka, and I'm pretty sure that there was another one, but I don't really feel like it. And he also creates an attack where he enlarges his entire body, making himself look like an actual boulder. So, yeah. Deku wouldn't discover Conqueror's Haki or Armament Haki yet. I'm gonna say that Deku's father is, Shanks. Not Shanks, but his father is, Hasashi, but Hasashi's quirkiness is like Conqueror's Haki, that's what he calls it, but it's basically him, but they call it will because he basically, anything that has a weaker will than him, will always lose to it. Which Hasashi's never been able to beat All Might because All Might has a stronger will. So basically, Hasashi knows that Deku, he might have his quirk. Since I'm gonna say the Inko's quirk, it makes her body a little bit more. It like makes her body able to nullify pain. Like her body is made out of a rubber, but her body's never been able to stretch. It's just that she's made out of rubber, and I wonder what that would feel like. I mean, whatever. So yeah, she's made out of rubber. She's never been able to stretch her body parts before, but is made out of rubber, which is that her quirk. And Deku's father's quirk is Conqueror's Haki, or a version of it. So Deku got both of their abilities. Plus, his body was able to mutate to the point where he can stretch his body. Armament Haki is basically him hardening his the rubber in his body. So yeah, that's pretty much all explaining. So Deku's in high school now. Not high school, but he's in the end of junior high. Pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, he's in the end of middle school. So the teachers talk about how people want to go UA. As Deku, he's just laying back with a hat on his head, and he's just looking up. So he's like, Midoriya, you wanted to go UA. Well, you definitely have the quirk for it, even though it's kind of weird. And Baku's like, as Deku's like, haha. And Baku's like, don't lump as he. Oh shit, I fucked up. So the teacher, after saying that Deku wanted to go to UA, he threw the papers in the air. He's like, you all want to go to UA. As Baku's like, shut up, don't lump us in with these losers. And Deku's just basically like, come on, Baku, you don't have to be so mean. He's like, shut up. And the class ends with Baku and Deku walking off. So some random gets attacked, which this random's gonna be Kugo. Basically, Kugo gets snatched, and he's quirkless, so Baku did used to bully Kugo, which Deku, he does stop it from time to time. He wants to see what how Kugo would react, because he's seen Kugo's drive to become a hero, and he was like, he needs to go through this if he ever wants to be. So, yeah. Kugo snatched, he gets saved. He asks All Might if he can be a hero without a quirk. All Might says no. Kugo's sad. And basically, the bottle drops, and Baku's grabbed by the Sledge Villain. So, this timeline, All Might does basically come when the explosion is heard, and he sees that Deku, he's basically just standing there as the Sledge Villain is trying to get him. And Deku, he ran away, which people are like, that kid's a little scary. It's All Might's like, as Deku would grab a pole, and he would begin to run back, as All Might's like, huh? As he's looking at the army, he's like, what the fuck? As Deku's like, alright, Gomu Gomu no. Not Gatlin, Gomu Gomu no pistol, basically. Gum Gum pistol, as his arm would basically fling back, and Deku would punch Baku on the stomach, sending him flying out of the Sledge Villain. So Baku's like, you bastard. Deku's like, my bad. I didn't mean to hit you. I meant to hit the Sledge Villain. And Baku's like, it would have never worked on a Sledge Villain. And Deku's like, I know. And Baku's like, which is it then? As All Might appears and he takes out the Sledge Villain. So Deku and Baku are walking home, as Baku went his separate way, as All Might would walk up to Deku, offering him one for all. And Deku would say, huh? Oh, I'm good. As All Might's like, wait, what? As Deku's like, I don't need that power. And I know someone who would be perfect for it, as he would basically tell All Might to look for a Kugo. So All Might would he would walk off, and he would go find that kid, which he would offer one for all to, and that's when they would begin their training, which he wouldn't really need that much training because he's already been working out. So, yeah. The 10 months of training is basically Deku and Bakugo sparring with each other, and Deku in this timeline, I don't really remember how the Gatling was made. That is why I need to watch One Piece. So, yeah. It's just basically Bakugo improving his explosions, fighting with Deku. Which, this would make Bakugo stronger in the long run. And Deku really wouldn't get that strong. So, this is where his father would walk up to Deku. As Deku, he'd be like, yo, Midoriya. Which Hasashi in this timeline does stay home more often. And he's like, have you ever felt like there was more to your quirk. As Deku's like, I mean, of course. There's a lot of things I can do with it. And he's like, all right, son, I'll teach you something when you become a pro hero, or when the time comes. And Deku's like, really? Cool. As that's basically the 10 months. Bakugo and Deku sparring, and Kugo training with All Might. So, yeah. So Deku, he goes, well, he's walking to UA as he bumps into Kugo, and he's like, yo, Kugo! And he's like, how did it go? And Kugo's like, what? He's like, you're training with All Might? And he's like, how did you know about that? And Deku's like, All Might offered me his quirk before he offered it to you, and I turned him down and told him to go to you because I thought that you'd be the perfect person for it. And Kugo goes like, you've always been that type of person, huh? As he's walking, and they walk into Bakugo. Bakugo's like, what's this quirkless nerd doing here? And Deku's like, come on, we're all future heroes here. And Bakugo's like, we're future heroes. I don't know about him, though. And Kugo's basically just staring a hole through Bakugo as they walk into UA. And Deku would bump into Uraraka being clumsy, and he would basically, he would grab Uraraka by her collar, pulling her up. He's like, my bad, lady, as he pats her in the back and he walks away. So, yeah, they sit into the building as President Mike would explain to them how the test works, and they would take their test. But during this, Deku and Bakugo would start basically bickering about who's stronger, and Ida would be like, shut the fuck up, basically. And they would, basically. But Bakugo would take a little bit longer than Deku, so yeah. Now, Deku isn't that smart in this timeline. He's only battle smart. He hasn't always been good on paper. So, yeah. Yeah, Deku would just barely pass, and Kugo and Bakugo would pass with flying colors. So Deku was like, that was close. So they get into the combat portion. As Deku, he would immediately grab onto something behind him as he would start walking forward. And they're like, what the hell? As Deku's like, just getting a start, or a head start, basically. As Aizawa would say, well, not Aizawa, but as President Mike would say, go. And Deku would rush out as he's like, the students were still standing there. He's like, there ain't no time. As Deku would shout, there isn't no starting time in a real fight. As they're like, shit, he's right, as they're rushing after Deku. So Deku, reaching the limit of how far he can stretch his arm, would release it, punching straight through a robot into another one. And those were 3-pointers. Or 1-pointer and 2-pointers, sorry. So Deku has 3 points now. So Deku would continuously grab onto robots, and he would basically run circles around them, making them trip on his, arm. And that's when Deku would get on top of them, and he would proceed to punch them in the face over and over. Remember, Deku was made out of rubber, which means that he wouldn't be able to get hurt as easily, which means that him punching the robot in the face repeatedly, it wouldn't really hurt him. So, yeah. This is how Deku gets his point. Now the 0-pointer would come. And Deku, he would just stand there. He's looking at it. He's like, huh. So Deku would start to turn around. He did hear Uraraka, and he did see that Kugo was rushing towards her, so he was like, that's not my problem. I'll let him shine for once. As Kugo would run past Luffy, or not Luffy, but Deku, and he would jump. Deku would immediately feel the shockwave as he would turn around and see that Kugo punched the robot in the face. And he was falling, so Deku, he basically started to swing his arm around rapidly, and he threw it, or launched it, grabbing Kugo and reeling him towards him. Deku would proceed to grab Kugo and set him down. I've said Kugo so many times, if you guys would get $1 from every time I say it, you would be rich right now. So, yeah. That's that. As Deku's like, he did good. As he walk over, as he push rubber off of Uraraka, and he was like, oh, sorry I didn't try to help you. I seen my friend over here, he basically had it covered, and I didn't want to steal his time to shine. And she was like, oh, it's alright then. And yeah. Deku would go home, walk home with Bakugo, and they would stop at their usual training spot as they would start to train a little bit more. So that is that. The results of Deku's results will come in the next part. 50 likes for part 2, and goodbye. Goodbye, basically, so deuces.